Well, you didn't see this one coming. Some people on the left are finally starting to admit what many have known for years. It's exhausting to constantly hate on Trump. Sarah Silverman recently opened up about this exact topic on her podcast and acted like a guru trying to give valuable advice. But unsurprisingly, most of her party isn't on board. Instead of reflecting, they're doubling down on this same tired approach. So today we're breaking down what Silverman said and why the endless anti-Trump routine might finally be wearing thin, even among his critics. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
Trump. You do not have to consume his content. Now that sounds incredibly privileged. I believe you do not have to at all consume his content and let that chip away at your physical and mental health. Instead, fucking touch grass when you can and focus inward. Focus on each other. Focus inward. I'm not saying totally disengage. I'm saying re-engage. I'm saying go within. This is not something I made up. I think it was some very wise Buddhist maybe or something. Go within. All the answers are there.
Well, I hate agreeing with Sarah Silverman, but she's right. It's honestly insane how some people have let one single politician completely consume their lives, especially when that politician is Trump. What's crazier is how deep this obsession goes. Entire media outlets built their business model around hating Trump. Late-night talk shows turned into mini political rallies with monologues dedicated to bashing him. Even comedians abandoned punchlines for angry rants. It stopped being about holding a politician accountable and turned into a full-blown identity for a lot of people. They treated him like he's some boogeyman responsible for every bad thing happening in the world. People canceled family members, broke friendships, and reshaped their personalities around resisting someone they had never even met. That's not healthy political engagement, that is cult-like behavior. Think of it like this: life's too short to be stuck in a never-ending political tantrum over someone who's probably out golfing right now.
Taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other. It doesn't have to include him. You don't have to keep up with every disgusting thing he says. Their whole purpose is owning the libs. There's no ideology. It's an act of hatred and a need for superiority. We need only to focus on caring for the people suffering in his wake, the detritus he leaves behind, picking up those pieces and taking care of each other. So this is what I have to offer. Hopefully I'll think of better things. I hope a lot of people are thinking of much smarter, active things.
I love how she talks like she's the ultimate authority on politics, as if we've all been waiting for her expert opinion on guiding us. But it's hilarious. Not so long ago, she gave an interview where she flat out said, no one wants to hear from celebrities on politics, so why jump back into the game now? What changed? I think it's less about offering real insight, more about trying to stay relevant. If you really believe no one wants to hear celebrities weigh in on politics, then maybe take your own advice, step back, and let the people decide for themselves. But most of Sarah's party is taking a completely different approach and are endlessly ranting in this idea that everyone is normalizing Trump, and we'll start with AOC's reaction.
What makes this go around with Trump so much more dangerous than the first time around is exactly what you're saying. It's that he is much more normalized this time around than he was the first time. The first time, people were really on edge. They were on guard. They were very vigilant about any break that he would have with these norms. This time, the norms are becoming him. Like all of these people that were scared before about like being associated with him from the most common basic level to the most elite level, they're all like, they're all in now.
Does she even hear herself talk? Seriously, why would anyone be scared to be associated with the president of the United States? Oh, Trump also got elected by millions and is back with more momentum than ever. If anything, people are now realizing the exact opposite being associated with common sense leadership is something to be proud of. This interview happened just 3 days after the president was sworn in, and nowadays, AOC's taking things to the next level. She teamed up with Bernie on a fighting oligarchy tour, pushing the narrative that the Democrat Party needs to fight harder and mobilize the people. Like what you're doing to Teslas? It's like Occupy Wall Street, but with a better PR team and fancier lighting. They're calling out billionaires and corporate greed, but somehow ignore the fact that many in their own party are part of the same system they're raging against. By the way, I've noticed you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Now, Elizabeth Warren is pushing for a similar message, but her target is a different person.
My name is Elizabeth Warren, and I am here with you to fight for our Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is a fight, and I want you to watch who this fight is between. This is a fight between millions of hardworking people who just don't want to get cheated, and a handful of billionaires like Elon Musk who want the chance to cheat them. Oh, and for every American who doesn't want some weird Elon Musk suck up searching through your personal private data, this is your fight.
Gotta say, at this point, we've gone way past Trump derangement syndrome and entered Elon derangement syndrome territory. And the symptoms are wild. Twice the hysteria, none of the logic. You got certain people on the left losing their minds, not because of some scandal or real controversy, but because someone is finally cutting government waste and making things much more efficient. Imagine getting mad at that. It's like getting upset because someone cleaned your house and organized your garage, but of course, to permanently offend the crowd, that's somehow a threat. It's like they're stuck in a loop of outrage where anything that doesn't come with a D next to it on the ballot is automatically evil. But a certain person is calling for a much calmer approach, and that's none other than John Fetterman.
What I'm saying, though, it's like I happen to know and love a lot of people that voted for Trump, and they're not fascists, and they're not looking to destroy democracy or all of those kinds of but if you go to that extreme, there's nowhere to come back after when you've already said those things. And so, like, that's just not the way government really works. And now we're less than 2 months into his administration, and there's so much kinds of hyperventilating, and that it's like at some point, 48 months, and we're not even into 2. That's not sustainable. So for me, it's like we need to find a way to get through that. And I'm not dumb. I know that there's a lot of people want to yell or to a lot of performative kinds of thing, but I'm that guy.
So what have we learned today? Well, despite more and more people clearly getting tired of the nonstop Trump hate that's being shoved in their faces, top Democrat leaders still haven't gotten the memo. Instead of stepping back and reassessing, they're doubling down on performative outrage, and that's why their party's approval numbers are at record lows. Meanwhile, anyone on their side who even dares to suggest a more level-headed approach, well, they're basically ignored, and that should tell you everything about their priorities and where they lie. But I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to get their coverage from an independent source like us, please make sure to share the video with them. It means the world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.